Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video was recommended to me when I asked what type of content you guys want to see. So I'll be going over my HUD layout, customization, all of that stuff. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so let's firstly get into my hotbars. As you can see, I have quite a few of them. I believe I have the max that you can have, which is 10. But these three in the middle are my main hotbars for my job abilities. No matter what job I'm playing, I like to make sure that I have the same abilities in the same slot. For instance, Rampart on my warrior is going to be in the same place as my gunbreaker. My stun ability will always be E. My AoE attacks will always be Q. So things like that, just because it's a lot easier to remember. So it doesn't really matter what job I'm playing. It's just muscle memory. Coming over to the right side where I have another hotbar. Now this is incredibly random. I think the entire layout that I have is a mess, but as someone who is diagnosed ADHD, it's what I like to call organized mess. I know where everything is, even though it looks messy, which just summarizes my whole life, to be honest with you. But the right hotbar is a bit random. So at the top is my challenge log. This is on a hotbar because I use it every day. I check it every day, so I want to have quick access to it. Underneath is the free company. Honestly, I just use this to see who's online. There's no real reason for me to have it here besides to be nosy, to be honest with you. Then I have emotes. Even though I have a couple of hotbars on the left side here, I like to be able to see the entire list of emotes available to me. Underneath that is the Chocobo saddlebag, which I don't really use that much. It is useful to have some extra storage, but I actually just went through my inventory and all of my retainers and cleared out all of the junk that I didn't need, which included the Chocobo saddlebag. So there really isn't anything here at the moment, but it's on my hotbar just in case I need it for anything. Then there's the sightseeing log, which I really have no idea why I put it there because I don't use it. I'll only do the sightseeing if it's something I come across when I'm exploring or doing some gathering or whatever else. At some point I will do the sightseeing, but right now it's not a priority. I probably just wanted to fill up a space on the hotbar, so that's there, but I don't use it. One thing I like to check every day though is currency, which I think is a really useful tab to have. It has basically everything on here, your company seals, your ventures, especially helpful to look at this so you can go and get your ventures instead of realizing a little bit too late when you're in your retainers that you don't have any ventures left. It also shows you your society currency as well. I could be wrong here, but does this reset every week? Can somebody let me know in the comments please if this resets, because I feel like I had so much more. The society quests and all of that stuff is something that I do when I'm in queue for daily roulette, so I don't really pay too much attention to it, but you can see that here in your currency tab. It's a really helpful thing to have on my hotbar. Underneath that is the armory chest, which I don't need to have on a hotbar because I can just press Control-I and it will come up, but if I want to quickly check it when I'm in a dungeon or something, then I have that right there. Speaking of which, I need to go through this because this is a mess. Companion is another thing on my hotbar which I don't know why it's there because I don't use it. Maybe someday I'll get into looking after my Chocobo a little bit better, but it's not a priority right now. Can we just have a bit of appreciation for my Chocobo name though? If you're a fan of The Witcher, you'll know exactly where that's coming from. The Witcher 3 is one of my all-time favorite games, along with Red Dead Redemption 2. I could talk about those two games like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but yeah, I don't use the companion, not at the moment anyway. Underneath that, I have actions and traits, which is incredibly informative. And if you're a new player, everything that you will need to know about what job you're playing will be in here. There's also a bunch of random stuff on here, which is really helpful to have. And I can also see what I'm going to be unlocking next. So my next ability as a warrior is going to be this ability right here. Then I have portraits underneath that, which is just for me to have a little bit of fun, to be honest. I really enjoy changing my portrait. Nothing upsets me more than going into a dungeon and I get a little error message saying that my portrait can't be shown because I never updated the picture to show the gear that I'm wearing currently. So I put that on my hotbar to prevent that from happening. Every time I change my gear, I reset my portrait. Then there's housing, which I have recently just put on my hotbar because I've just got a house, as you can see. I'm not going to show you guys much of my house. I have a plan to do a house tour video in the near future, so I'm not showing you guys too much of the house right now, but I put that there so I can remodel the interior, exterior, look at furnishings, etc. So that's on the hotbar for that reason. And then last is fashion accessories. Again, I just wanted to fill a gap on the hotbar for this. I can just quickly access an umbrella if it's not raining. I don't need it. But there we go. Then there's this mess over here, which has a variety of things on it. I get overwhelmed with it sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but there's just some buttons on here. So like your ether current compass, which you're gonna need once you start Heaven's Ward onwards. Then there's the dig button for when you do the treasure maps, repair, those type of things, they're all here. And then I don't have any of these right now because they come from my squadron, but when I do have these, I like to keep it on a hotbar because you get 15% experience bonus. Right now I'm currently leveling up a DPS and a healer. I'm going with ninja and conjurer. I haven't got to white mage just yet, but today I managed to level up rogue enough to get to ninja, and having these squadron different battle manuals helped a lot. So I keep that on my hotbar because it is really helpful to have when I'm leveling up other jobs. Next to that is the Gold Saucer VIP card. I'm currently saving my MGP for the mount that's in the Gold Saucer right now, which you can buy for 1,000,000 MGP. I'm halfway there, and having this is very helpful as well. And just like the other one that I showed you, you get a 15% MGP bonus. Then there's just a bunch of potions for my HP and MP. But I actually need to craft some more food. I'm running out. And we have the teleport buttons, my mount, and Wondrous Tales, which I don't have at the moment because it doesn't reset until tomorrow. Right next to it is some of the jobs. Down the bottom is my crafters and gatherers, and then up the top is my jobs. Warrior and Gunbreaker are my mains. I've been playing tank since the get-go, but I've just finished Stormblood, but both my Warrior and Gunbreaker are almost level 90. I don't exactly want to go into Shadowbringers with a level 90 because I'll just be wasting a lot of XP, which is why I'm leveling up a DPS and a healer. I'm currently level 70 in the MSQ, so I have a while to go, but that's okay. There's no need to rush this amazing story, so I'm just enjoying my time leveling up different jobs. DPS is actually quite fun. I haven't taken it into a dungeon just yet. I'm really enjoying healer as well. Let me know if you guys want to see my DPS and healer journey in another video. But yeah, those are my jobs, easily accessible for when I want to change quickly. Then my last hotbars are my emotes. I was inspired to do an emote hotbar when I was doing those levy quests. I'm not entirely sure how to say it, but you know those quests when you have to guide someone to safety and you have to continue to beckon them. It got very annoying, so I put it on a hotbar because when I started playing this game, you would just see me typing that out in the chat and it was exhausting. So beckon is there, and then also soothe, because you also get those quests where you have to put in enough damage on your enemy and then soothe them. And there's just a bunch of random fun emotes there. So those are all of my hotbars. In terms of my HUD layout, I'm pretty sure the majority of you will know that you get your enemy information at the top of your screen. I found out recently that you can actually split that enemy bar into 3 parts, I believe, and I put that progress bar down here. The progress bar allows you to see when a boss is going to do a big attack and things like that. Obviously, I'm not looking at the top of the screen during a battle. I'm looking down here where my abilities are. So I've moved that down here so that's a bit more easier for me to see. As a tank, I need to see what's going on because I found myself missing a lot of the abilities that the bosses were doing. So that is one thing that I have done. And then pretty much everything else is just a preference. I've made things smaller. I've made the mini map a lot bigger because my eyesight is terrible when I'm not wearing my glasses. And yeah, things have just been moved around to whatever tickles my fancy. Let's go over to character configuration. For the longest time when I started playing this game, I had the movement settings on standard. I personally don't like this, so once I found out that you could change it to legacy, I haven't taken it off. It's a game changer, honestly. Cutscene skipping, I have ticked because I don't want to see the same cutscene in a dungeon a million times. So if you're getting sick of seeing those same cutscenes, you can skip them. Over in the character section, down in battle effects settings, I've set it to show limited for party and others. Let's say that you're in an alliance raid, you'll be able to see everybody's abilities. That's 24 people. That basically just dims it down. Putting it on show limited obviously limits it down, but you can click show none if you want to. Just bear in mind that if you do that, you may miss important abilities and things like that. In my inventory settings, I have it set to open all, which looks like this. Please ignore the mess. I'm trying to ignore it. So that looks like that when it's open all. If you have it set to normal, you will have to click through every single page, and that can get quite annoying. At least I find it annoying. I unticked store all newly obtained items in the armory chest. When I did have that ticked, I got very confused about what I just picked up. So now any item that I pick up will go straight to my inventory, and I can manually put it in my armory chest if I want to. One thing that I turned off as soon as I found out that I could turn it off was play music when mounted. I know a lot of people enjoy the music that come with mounts. That's absolutely okay. For me, it's really distracting and off-putting, so immediately turned that off as soon as I could. And that was pretty much it for my system configuration settings. There's probably going to be a couple of things that I missed because a lot of settings that I have now I changed when I started playing the game, and I've taken a couple of breaks from the game between when I started and now. But those are the main things in regards to my HUD, my hotbars, and my settings. If you guys want a more in-depth video going over different settings that you can change to make the game better for you and those type of things, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I keep saying this in every single video, but thank you so very much for all of the love you guys have been giving me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.